I was approached by a company called Sanfou and asked if I would like to review this power station. It's the OPS 600. It's got a 576 watt-hour capacity. It's fitted with a pure sine wave inverter capable of 600 watts constant, 1200 watts peak. It's fitted with two 220 volt UK AC outlets. It's got 4 USB outlets, 2 USB-A, 2 USB-C, DC outlets, 5.5 by 2.1 millimeters, and a cigarette lighter outlet as well. Now it weighs 6 kilograms, it's very portable, and it's fitted with an 11 watt light. So the specs are pretty good. One thing I will say before I actually get into the review is that the instructions that came with this are absolutely abysmal. In fact, there is more information on the Amazon product description page than there is in the instructions. This is the box it arrives in. Remember, you can pause the video if you want to read any of the details. So along with the power station, there is a power supply with a UK 3-pin plug to allow you to recharge the power station, and a set of instructions. It's arrived 65% charged. So I'm actually going to put it on charge now. You'll notice there's a green LED there on the power adapter. I'm going to plug that in. And then you'll notice that that green LED has now gone red to say that it's on charge. You can see that the charging output's gone up to 96 watts. It's also shown that it's charging on the screen. So I'm just adding this clip so you can see what it's like when it's charging, because obviously there was an issue with glare. And there is a little icon on the battery flashing to let you know that it's charging. Around about 7 hours to charge this unit up with the power adapter. So if I turn the display off, this LED is still red. So it was at 66%. I'll leave it for 5 or 10 minutes and come back and see whether it actually charges with the display off. I'm assuming it does, but we'll find out for sure. Okay, so I've waited about 12 minutes. Let's see what happens if we turn it on. Yes, 69%. So it is charging without the display on. So while it's charging, we'll look at the outputs. You can see we've got two 220 volt AC outlets. Now, I've done a bit of research on this. In the UK, our tolerance is 240 volts minus 10%. So the minimum voltage that a 240 volt appliance will run at, or is designed to run at, is 216. So 220 volts should be fine. We've also got 3 12 volt outlets. I believe they're 5.5 by 2.1 millimeters. There are 2 power delivery USB-C outlets, one at 100 watts and one at 27 watts, and then 2 quick charge 3.0 USB-A outlets. So USB-A, USB-C, 12 volts, UK 3-pin AC, and then at the top here we've got a cigarette lighter outlet, 12 volts. So on the right hand side of the unit you can see we've got the 5.5 by 2.1 millimeter input for the power adapter. The input specifications: 5 to 24.5 volts, 2 to 5 amps. So we're finally at 100% on the battery. It took around about 40 minutes to go from 99% to 100%. And you can see we've got a green light on the AC adapter. I'm just going to turn the display off, and we've still got the green light. So you do not need the display on to charge the battery, and you can go by the power adapter, which will turn green when it's fully charged. For your information, this power adapter gets quite hot when it's charging up the power station. So as you can see on the front, we've got 3 buttons. This one is the on-off button. Notice it says on-off there. So if you hold this down for 3 seconds, it turns on the unit. If I want to turn on the AC outlet, I've got to hold that down for 3 seconds. And you can see now we've got an AC sign there, 50 Hertz, 220 volts. This here is telling you how many minutes you've got left on the unit at the current output. And at the moment it's 999 because it's not actually doing anything. But you'll notice that it's using 7 watts. Now that is the pure sine wave inverter, because that uses power in order to operate. You can see that the battery is 100% charged. If I press this, now these DC outlets are live. Now the 3 DC outlets and the cigarette lighter socket outlet, all together they've got a maximum output of 10 amps. So you can have 2.5 amps on each one if you're using all 4 at the same time, or any variation of that, but they've got a maximum output of 10 amps at 12 volts. When I turn on the DC outlets, you can see we've got The car indicated on the right hand side, that is basically the cigarette lighter, and then DC on the top there above AC, and you'll notice now that it's gone to 12.6 volts. I think I would prefer to see the AC details on there, but this is just how it's designed. It would appear if they're not being used then it switches itself off after a few seconds. Now even though we've got a light on there, these USB outlets are not live. I need to press it quickly to turn them on, and you'll see we've got USB-A on there. So now these are all lined up. And it's just a case of learning how to actually switch between the different functions and how long you need to press a button for, that type of thing. It is a little bit complicated, but there is plenty of information on this display here, and it's quite easy to understand what's going on. If I spin it round, you can see we've got the light there. Hold that down for 3 seconds, it comes on, and that's on the low setting, medium setting, high setting, SOS and strobe, and then just press it again to turn it off. So you've got to cycle through all 5 modes in order to turn it off once you've turned it on. So that's a basic rundown of the controls. So if you do a lot of work outside, or occasionally work outside where there's no power, you can do an awful lot with one of these power banks. Now this is just a normal drill. Remember, you're restricted to 600 watts, but this is 680 watts. I've tried this inside a few times and it usually runs around 400 or 500. So using a drill in wood or masonry, no problem at all. Something needs planing. No problem at all. Your axe is blunt. No problem. You've managed to blunt your chainsaw blade. No problem. Well, Russell, you say that's fine, but that's just 2 or 3 tools. What about if I've got a big job to do outside? Well, I would say my answer to that is that most people nowadays, when they're doing a fair amount of work and some of it's outside, will have cordless tools. And again, this thing will bail you out with cordless tools as well. So I'll give you a demonstration. Now, there's no way that this will run a circular saw because the motors are too big, but cordless, no problem. No problem. Yeah, but Russell, I've got to cut out quite an intricate shape. Well, no problem, really. Do you think that's intricate enough? Who knows? No problem. Well, yeah, I like intricate shapes, Russell, but I need to make a frame. Well, no problem. "90 degrees. Or 45. So now that we've been running around with our power tools, it's time to charge up the batteries. So we'll put an 18-volt battery in here. That's showing, don't know whether you can see that, but that's showing 29 watts. And then we'll put another 18-volt battery in here. Now this is a fast charger, and it charges this battery in around about 30 minutes, I think, something like that. It's quite a quick charge on the Evolution 2 amp hour battery. You can have a look online and see for yourselves if you want. So that's showing 160 watts total, and it's saying you've got 2 hours and 20 minutes worth of charging if you need it. No problem. I might as well charge my screwdriver and my little easy cut and grind while I'm at it as well. So they're charging now, and we're showing 171 watts. But one thing I will point out is when you've got one of these things, the answer to a lot of the problems that you've got is no problem. They are very, very handy. They are useful in all sorts of situations: emergencies, power cuts, working outside, camping, boats, tents, hiking. It's a bit heavy to lug around, but if you need a power supply for whatever reason, then it's not too heavy to lug around. You can lug it around. It's a very versatile piece of equipment with an awful lot of applications. This is the setup that I use on my boat. As you can see, we've got a TV. I've got a little mini computer down there at the bottom. There is a light that I've just added there, and then there is the router behind the power station. So there's a computer, and I've had that a few years now. There is a router, and if we go onto the power station, so you can see with the computer, TV, router and light on, I'm only using 52 watts, and it's saying I've got 594 minutes worth of use there. I just want to show you the Amazon page because there's quite a lot of information on there that you can't find anywhere else. And it's on the photographs. So this photo shows you there are 6 ways to recharge the unit. 100 watt solar panel should take about 7 hours. Well, I would take that with a pinch of salt. It depends how much sun there is. So the power adapter should take about 7 hours. The 100 watt Type-C port, it's saying 7 hours, which is the same as the AC adapter. The AC adapter plus the port is 3.5 hours. So you can actually use the port and the AC adapter. And then you've got the car port, which is basically a cigarette lighter on your car, using your car's batteries, and then a generator. This one will just give you an idea of how many charges you'll get for various pieces of equipment, and you can see at the bottom right hand side there that you should get 54 hours out of the light, which is very handy. I'm going to get to the light in a second. I wanted to talk about the light because I think this is a really good feature on this power station. Now, because it's a diffused light, it actually spreads the light out. So normally these things come with like a torch, and you know, that's all well and good, but it's kind of a spotlight, whereas this is kind of a floodlight. So for this room, it lights it up an awful lot, and it's on the lowest setting. That is the medium setting, and that is the high setting. And I've got to say, on this high setting, it actually lights the room up really well. So when you consider how long that lasts, 54 hours, then that will prove very, very handy in a power cut, or if you're in a tent, or if you're out in the wilderness. You can actually get light very, very easily, and it will last an awful long time. The Sanfou OPS 600, hopefully I've given you a reasonable look at this thing. My own personal opinion is, I actually think it's good value for money at the price of selling it at the moment. Instructions, they really do need to sort the instructions out because they are virtually non-existent. I've mentioned that about 4 times. Other than that, I like the way it's made. It feels pretty sturdy. I don't like the glossy front on this, and you saw the issue earlier on when I was actually charging the battery. Other than that, the display is really very good. There's lots of information on there. I do wish that they would have made it 230 volts instead of 220 volts. That's just my own personal opinion. I know that the UK equipment should work with 220. The fan is a bit noisy, and I've not shown that very well on the video because you can't pick it up very well on the camera, but it is a little bit noisy and it will annoy some people. But I think for the price, it's good value for money. You're getting quite a lot of power station for the price that they're asking for it. Now pair it with a solar panel, and unfortunately I couldn't test it, but pair it with a solar panel and you've got a solar generator. So if you are out in the wilds, it will keep you going so long as you've got some sunshine. Anyway, I hope you found this review useful. Thank you very much for watching, and please take care.